Welcome to the page where I get to help you live your best life from what I learned from your kids. Today's topic is about mental blocks, and as a mom, it's so difficult to see your child struggling. I work with hundreds of moms, and the biggest problem that they have is that they don't want their child to suffer and to struggle. It's not really about winning. It's not about being the best. It's really about, I think every mom in the world wants their athlete, their child, to be happy, to maximize their opportunities, and to learn from the sport. But so often what happens is, 70% of kids are quitting the sport before they're 13. And why is that? It's because of the lack of mental strength. Okay, because what happens is when an athlete comes home, or when they don't know what to do, when they're just doing the doing strategy and things are going well, what happens is one day it doesn't work and they can't do what they know they can do physically. If your athlete, your child, cannot do what they know they can do, it's always a mental issue. And what happens is as soon as they get disconnected mentally, this isn't intentional, but what happens is coaches and parents tend to put the problem back on the athlete. If my daughter can't do her back walk over in the beam, most coaches are going to say, just do it. Don't think about it. Get out of your head. You did it yesterday. Why can't you do it today? You're not making the effort. You're not doing what I'm telling you to do, right? Coaches and parents unintentionally are putting the problem on the athlete. And the athlete always is already feeling bad about themselves. There's not a person in the world, if they strike out, if they don't make a basket, if they make a foul, if they don't catch the ball, if they don't kick the ball through the upright, no matter what the issue is, you don't have to tell the athlete what they did wrong. They know what they did wrong. And so what happens is the athlete already feels bad, and then the coaches don't know what to do, and 90% of them are putting it back on the athlete, and then it makes them feel worse. Okay, so the things that we can do, number one, when your athlete or when your child has an issue, I don't care what it is, if she strikes out, if she can't, mentally manage herself in a situation, if the piano recital goes bad, if it can be anything. But when they are feeling equal to the problem, when they're feeling bad, the one thing you have to do is validate it. If you say to your child, if you say to your gymnast, did you do your skill today? If they didn't do it, how do you think that's going to be helpful? Why didn't you do it? What happened? What's wrong? They don't know what's wrong because it's an unconscious process. It's happening to them. They don't know. People will say, you must be afraid. You must, what are you worried about? Don't worry about doing it perfect. None of that is helpful because it's an unconscious process. They're not trying to not do their skills. So when they come home, if they didn't do something or if they're feeling bad, validate it. I'm so sorry that that's happening to you. It must feel awful for you to not know what to do about that. I'm sorry that that's happening to you. And to piggyback on that, the second thing that you can do is you need to know that they are not broken. Just because there's a problem doesn't mean they're the problem. They are not equal to the problem. We as parents, the coaches will say, I just had a mom the other day, her daughter was struggling, and the coach literally said to the mom and the daughter, she's not making the effort, she doesn't want to be here, she's not doing what I'm telling her to do, it's just a waste of time. She must be tired, she's just not, she's balking, she may as well go home. And to me, it's like, how is that helpful? Even if it's true, even if it's all the athlete's fault, how is that helpful? Like, is she gonna go, ooh, now I wanna go do my skills? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what's happening. But we as parents, if a coach says that, oh, she's, in her head, if we could just tell our kids to get out of their head and that worked, we'd all be perfect. This is how you help them get out of their head, okay? This is what's necessary. When you know that they're not broken and you can behave like that, I would say to the coach, for instance, in that situation, and what I told the mom to do is say, well, how are you helping her with that? What are you doing about that? What is your solution? Because when coaches say, she needs to get out of her head, if she could get out of her head, she'd be great. Well, how are you helping her do that? Why do they not take any responsibility for the mental side of the sport? It's an unconscious process. She doesn't know how to fix it. And then the coaches are like, no wonder why they quit. No wonder why they get burnt out. No wonder why they don't want to play. Okay, they're not broken. Don't try to fix them. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do blah, blah, blah. You don't need to jump in their A circle and tell them what to do. It's a mental disconnect. Getting a solution is helpful. Hiring me to help them so that they can manage their mind, so that they can wrap their head around what they need to do, so that they can understand what's actually going on. I used to not make moms be in session with me, and now I make them be in session because they need to know as much as the child how to manage this, what to say, what not to say, how to help them. Because anything that an athlete can't do when they know they can do it physically is a mental issue. So the solution is vital. Because if they don't have a solution, that this will map across into other areas of their life. They will carry it with them. If you've got a gymnast who quits a sport because of a flyaway, I've had this happen so often, and they leave the sport, then when she's a diver, that issue is going to come back. And I don't want people to carry on mental issues that they had when they were children. We've all had an experience where something happened to us, and then we carried that on and felt bad about it. I remember one of my uncles said to me, Stacy, why are you so happy all the time? Why are you smiling all the time? And I perceived it as I can't show people my happiness because it makes them feel uncomfortable. I can empathize with my 8-year-old self, but I certainly don't want that relative in my A circle moving forward to not be able to show people my freaking happiness, right? And so we've got to be able to support our children to understand what's going on so that they can maximize themselves in their opportunities, in their sport, and using these strategies to not only be happy and healthy, but come out of it in a way that they can use the resources beyond the sport. Like, isn't that the whole point of a sport or an activity or band or anything that they're doing? And now I'm going to flip this on you, because the whole point of the page, and please comment below things that you see with your athletes. Please comment below any question you have for me about this. Please show me where you're at, because now I'm going to flip it on you. As a mom, what I have to do every day to be a better mom, to leave a great legacy, to continue helping my children be their best, is I have to validate and empathize with myself. I have to practice not being so hard on myself and not judging myself for everything that I'm doing. I have to then understand that I'm not broken, so I can support myself and be in my own A circle to do what I need to do to support myself so that I can teach my kids how to support themselves. I need to continue to look for a solution. I need to continue to dig deep from where those limiting beliefs came from and why I'm still sabotaging myself with certain things. I need to continue to cut those limiting beliefs that I was taught. Money doesn't grow on trees. I want to believe money grows on trees. Like, why not? Why did we say it didn't? Like, you know what I mean? I want to continue to get rid of any limiting belief I had that was given to me. And then we have to look for solutions for our children. We have to continue to not focus on the problem and look for where they're more connected. Look for where they are focused. Look for where they're doing things that are super connected, where they're mentally wrapping their head around, where they're more focused, where they're making more of an effort, where they're staying in their body. And we have to do that for ourselves. We have to continue to work on those things so that we can be our best. This is the simplest way for me to be a good person and a good mother and leave a legacy all at the same time without separating it, without stressing about it, without making it more difficult than it needs to be. Be gentle with yourself. My daughter used to say, Mom, you can be hard on yourself, but never be mad at yourself. Very good advice. I want you to live your best life. I want to live my best life, one thought at a time. Thanks so much for being here. Please remember to subscribe, to comment, to like, and if it's useful, please share it. Have a good day.